$25.
So Jason got up super early. And yes, it's upside down. The reason it's upside down is because I want to paint these legs. Oh, there's Petey. And I think we got it for 25. What'd you say?
25 bucks.
Awesome. With a lot of heavy loading in the truck, out of the house, back into this house.
Trying to get it out of that tiny house.
Was rough, huh?
Yeah.
You can see the sweat on his forehead.
Oh, yeah.
He's covered in sweat.
We have a heat advisory today.
Yes. And you got a mid-century piece that we'll show pictures of later that we're not painting because it's beautiful.
Yep, no, just clean it up, shine it up, give it a little spit shine.
Okay, so there you are. Petey's investigating it. I'm going to start painting it.
Be laying on that.
It's okay. And so for you guys listening, I haven't decided the color, but I have to decide shortly because I've got to do the bottom of the legs before I flip it. So there you go. We are in tight quarters right now. I have it upside down to paint. I've decided Sea Glass by Dixie Belle. And I'm using the Belle brush. And I'm just going to spray my brush just a little bit to get it wet. All I'm doing right now is painting these leg tops upside down so that I don't have to get up underneath it. Let's see. So for example, if this was upright, I would be down on this trying to get underneath it. And this way, I can get around the entire thing without having to go up and under. Sometimes it's just easier. Okay, and I will tell you that the Sea Glass is not attaching very well because I put too much water on my brush. So this will take several coats. I can tell by the way it's reacting because this is a shiny French provincial piece. So there'll be a little bit of extra prep on this one. I would suggest using Slick Stick made by Dixie Belle to attach. And since I am just going to be doing these legs like this, I am going to use the Slick Stick on the main body of the thing, but just get this paint here on the places that are harder to get, again, when it's upright. So there you go. And then again, just get that coat on there. Don't worry about how it looks. We are just, all the animals are watching. We are just trying to get the base on there again, so we don't have to climb under. If you've never painted furniture, you know what I'm talking about, where you try to get all the way around because you're going to see it across the room. It's better just to do it upside down. Go ahead and get that started. Even these back legs that you may not think of painting because you're like, well, it's across the room, it's on the inside. People are using furniture in all different places. They're using them for bars. They're using them not just against a wall. So now it's better to go ahead and paint the entire part of the legs so that no matter what angle they put it at in their room, it's usable. Put a little bit on the bottom of this apron, just so, no, Petey. Petey always wants to jump on and check it out and make sure I'm doing it right. Alright, I won't bore you. There's what I'm doing. And I'll continue to do this on the other legs across the way.
What are we talking about?
Okay, so I'm videotaping now that we flipped it over. So this is a true before. You can see where I put a little bit of the blue on the bottom. Something that Jason just noticed. What's wrong with the handles, Jason?
Oh, they're upside down.
They put them on upside down.
When this has obviously been painted before.
Let me show them because they can't see.
So that's the original color there. This is what they painted it.
And they didn't slick stick it, so it's coming off. So this is what I was talking about.
There probably was no such thing.
Well, what I was trying to say is this is what you get after, 5 to 8 years of use. So if you're okay with it, that's fine. But if you're doing it professionally, slick stick it and you won't have it going back to the original slick surface before the paint. So I'm just going to show you. So this is our before. We'll change up the handles. We'll slick stick it, and yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. This is a really nice piece.
It's a nice basset.
Yeah, it's a basset, and it's real wood. And how much did you pay for this?
$25.
$25. Okay. This is what you get when you spray it down and you just start letting all that gunk drip. Do you see this rust colored stuff? Look over here. Do you see that? Looky. That's why it's good to clean your pieces before you paint them. So after I cleaned it down, even though it doesn't look like it, I've already been doing this for a while, so I'm just showing you. Took a sanding block and wrapped some sandpaper because I wanted a little bit different grit. I'm just going over this. You can tell, look at all those little pieces that are flaking off. You see all these balls of paint? Look at that piece. It's because whoever did it before didn't use slick stick. If they'd used slick stick, I would just be sanding lightly and getting right to it. But they didn't. And that's the actual wood from under the veneer showing through. So wouldn't that be lovely? So this is the stuff I don't show you. This is the stuff that's not fun. I just show you the fun stuff. This is non-fun stuff, but this is part of the deal. I just finished using Slick Stick. This is what that is. Dixie Belle Slick Stick. Bonds to glossy and other hard, shiny surfaces to allow effective painting. And we do sell that the other side. But you can see, even just with one coat, it is white. It makes this piece look prettier already. It gives the surface a bite. Even though I've already cleaned it down and sanded it, this extra addition, especially because this French Provincial is always too slick. Whenever I paint over this, the paint will adhere to this base coat and stick to it. So slick to stick, I guess, so Slick Stick. So grateful. It's already looking better, cheery. And yes, I went over the blue paint that I had done earlier because it was time to sand it and get it done too. Alright, we're back on this project and I'm going to show you. I have Dixie Belle Peacock. I have Dixie Belle Sea Glass, which is what I put on the bottom in the first little bit. And I have Mermaid Tail. And I am going to start with Mermaid Tail. And this is a new container, so they're not too hard to open. I could have done this beforehand, but I didn't. Sorry, I know I'm out of frame. Yes, I have my glasses on and I don't care. Okay. And by the way, there's a lot on that top part. So I'm using my Mini Belle brush, which is called a mini. And I'm going to take some of the paint straight off the cap. And I'm just going to start nilly-willy. Is that how people say it? And the brush, by the way, is wet because I was painting earlier upside down the legs and I rinsed it out and it is still damp, but I didn't dry it off on purpose. So I am just laying this on just however it wants to go, kind of, sort of. I have a little bit in mind what I want, but I prefer having something in mind and then going with what happens later. You'll see what I'm talking about. Or if you've been watching the videos, you know what I'm talking about. And by the way, if you've been watching the videos, for some reason, I don't have the ID channel on right now. Odd, huh? Am I going this way and going that way? Okay. Yes, I have to look just a little bit more off the top. And I am just lightly. This Mermaid Tail color is so good. You don't need that much. And I do want, yes, I know there's white spots showing through. I know I'm blocking. Get a little bit more. This is what I want. Almost watercolorish. corners. So you see, I'm gonna turn this just a little bit. I am not intentionally just doing the top doors this one color, but oh, that's right, I still have more in here. But I mean, that's the way it looks for now, and it may end up being that way. But right now, I'm just here. I can tell the brush is starting to pull a little bit, so I'm gonna spray a little bit of water right into the top of that cap. Dab my brush in it so that we can continue with that watercolor look that I was working on with the rest of them. Like I said, I can feel the brush dragging a little bit, which tells me it needed to be watered down. You'll see when you start using these paints, which by now I hope you are, on your own projects, you'll see exactly what I'm talking about, and you'll be like, I get it now. It's pretty awesome. You know when to add a little bit of water. It's pretty easy. Come across here. Get it, and it sets a little bit. Get a little bit underneath there. A little bit there. Okay, I am going to let that part dry and go to the next step. So I'm going to put this lid back on, and all I used was the paint off this lid. See, it's that little styrofoam piece you throw away. Yeah, so you see how much I'm going to get out of this. A lot. I'm going to set that brush down. Put the top back on because Petey is around here somewhere. And he is like a kid. Okay, that's not on there totally, but you see what I'm saying. So, okay, I was going to stop, but since it's still rolling, and it might go off in a few minutes because someone's going to send me a message. Notoriously, that happens to me. Okay, I saw a spot I didn't like, and I'm wiping off, and yes, the other color is coming off my finger a bit. What I'm trying to say is, that's okay. It just looked like fuzz or something, I don't know. Okay, so the next color is Peacock. And I've used this a lot. It's one of my favorites. So is Mermaid Tail, honestly. I'm going to spray the drawer this time. There is no right or wrong way. And as you'll see, I'm using the same brush. I'm just going to dip in here. Yes, that contaminates because it gets a little bit of the paint into the new jar, but I don't care. Unless I'm using white, I like contamination as far as paint colors. I find that it works out always in my benefit, not in my detriment. And plus, it's just a little bit, so you can just scoop out the part. It's like when your family makes tuna fish and uses the same fork to get the mayonnaise scooped in, and so you got a little bit of tuna fish in your mayonnaise. Now, don't tell me that just happens in my family. When I say my family, me. Because the cats aren't doing it. Yes, I just used the brush with a different color to do the inset because I forgot to do the inset there. You may have seen that and been like, hey, the inset. And I'm going to go a little bit on here. Again, there is no wrong way. All right, we're heading that way. I'm going to turn just a little bit. I'm going to spray that a little bit. I am sitting on, in case somebody had asked, one of those tiny furniture dollies. It's the smaller version for minis, and it has a hole in the center, obviously. And so I put a big cushion, which happens to be a turtle pillow. I got it from Jason way back when, and he got me this turtle pillow that also folds up to be like you can lay it on the floor, or you can fold it up smaller and use it just like on your bed as decor. And I think really it's for children, but hey, I don't care because I'm a kid at heart. Okay, I got a little bit up here, so I'm going to go ahead and turn and go like that. And come down a little bit. These drawers I've left in, and they do push back a little bit. I'm getting a little drip there. Can you see that? Yep, see that? I'm okay with that. Go with the flow. But when the drawers get pushed in ever so slightly, because all the stops on them, like this one goes in much farther, I went ahead and painted that lip, because even though it's going to be pulled back, you never know when it might push in just a little bit and you want to get all that. So you always want to do a little bit of the inset too. Now, what didn't I do? Does anybody know? Anybody see that? I didn't spray it. And it's fine right there. And now that I've already done it, I'm just going to mist here and here a little bit. Because I'm, again, I know you guys want perfection. You're not going to find that here. No perfection. Just going with it. You want perfection, you watch the big ones on YouTube. Oh my gosh, there's some amazing ones. I could tell you people I watch all the time. But sometimes I have to stop watching and start doing, so that's what I'm doing. Okay, this is a long video. I'm going to stop it here while I trade out. And I'm going to touch that up just a little bit. Can you see where we're kind of going with this? I know ombre is the word. I don't like that word necessarily. It's not what I'm going for, so it will change. Okay, as I'm sitting here, I just finished this section. I realize the other color's really, it's sea glass. It's really light. So I think while my brush is still loaded, and again, I keep using the same brush this whole project, I'm going to go across there. You can't see me if my head's in the way. While the brush is still damp, and I'm going to bring this color down a little bit further. Because that's what speaks to me right now. That's what it says it needs. So, I'm going to go across a little bit further down than I did on the other one. Just sideways a little bit. I can actually, I am going to mist this just a little bit to get the last little bit out of it to extend that, see how it reactivates. Normally you can have 3 brushes going, and there's nothing wrong with that. And that's probably what they teach you normally to do, but with this watercolor effect, I want to still use the same brush. And see how this dripped down here? This dripped down naturally, and now I am feathering, just lightly taking this other color down, which is this color here. So I have changed my mind as I'm filming, just based on how the piece is reacting. And because I still had it on my paintbrush, and I just thought, you know what? That needs to come down some more. So again, you see it's kind of, now I'm really brushing it off. So I'm going to go here, and then we're going to introduce sea glass. So we are to sea glass now, and because I was using the brush and it's really dry out, I'm going to spray the brush, but I'm also going to spray just the bottom parts of these. I did a little bit of sea glass on the bottoms when I had it upside down, just to get the bottoms of the legs earlier. And now I am dipping same brush into sea glass. So third color, I am going to just kind of feather it. I had already done this apron earlier, but when I realized the slick stick issue and the other paint, I don't know, I decided to go ahead and slick stick it more. So I did slick stick right over it after I cleaned it and sanded it down more. And I'm glad I went with that decision. I am doing the side that you can't see right now, which I know, just not great when you're doing video and then don't show somebody what you're doing, but you'll see. And see, it looks white still, but that's already sea glass, almost the whole thing. So I sprayed this down quite a bit. This one's going to react a little differently because there's so much water. I know, I'm blocking, aren't I? It's okay. It'll be all right. I'm going over this a little bit, this a little bit. I'm in Florida, and I'm not like, ooh, I gotta have everything mermaid, but I do like the idea of blues that remind me of the ocean and serenity and lakes. So I call it mermaid, or watercolor mermaid. See, again, I think they're coming off white as I'm filming, because even I am like, did I even paint those yet? All right, scooting this down. I have used just this to put my paintbrush down on my carpet. This is one of those carpets that, you know, an area rug, real flat to the ground, low pile paint right on it. I can roll easily on my roller that I'm set up on today. And I don't have to worry about drips and stuff because this is water-based paint and it will come up, but also the carpet is a zebra print, and with each little tiny splash of color, it gets cooler. I like it. So, it's not like it's, I mean, this is my studio area, so it's not like it's in my living room and I have to stare at paint blobs. It sounds worse than it is. Okay, now I'm going to turn the brush sideways and really get into these, see that? Lips of the drawers, because when they slide back and forth, sometimes they don't go all the way. And that's with the excess on the brush that I have. Just turn sideways and it blends well because it's the same water consistency. I'm going over that little bit spot. All right, I know. It's crazy, huh? Wait till you see what I do with the top. Thank you for staying with me. See all those jars? One brush, that's all you need. Just buy a good brush. Or, can't afford a good brush? Buy whatever brush you can afford and go for it. It'll still be fine. You know what the secret is to finding out which colors you're going to do on the side? The secret is extreme planning on your part to make sure you get the right color. No, that's not true. I know, I should have stopped and waited, but how I decide what that color is going to be there on the front, on the side, is I'm still have my brush wet. I haven't cleaned it yet since I did all three colors, and I have more of this color, which is sea glass, than I do the other colors, so that's the decision maker. I have more of this works, so I'm just going to spray this. I did slick stick this, and I'm just going to paint the inset of the sides with sea glass, again, because I have more of it than I do of the other colors. And there's no better way to make a decision than with what you love, because all three colors I love. Just go with what you have the most of. Decision made, no worries. See how easy things are when you don't really worry about it? That's what I love about this paint, and I love about painting furniture. Because right now, I've been having bad panic attacks all day long, stressful things with work because of construction. But I know it'll all work out on the end, and there's nothing I can do about that right now to fix it, because I am not a construction worker, nor do I know how to build buildings and such. So what do? Choose what I can do. What can I do? I can not freak out and do something I love, which is paint. And so instead of coloring in a coloring page, like I've said before, I'm gonna paint really cool furniture. I'm gonna take it to my store and sell it and give it a new home. It's like I'm fostering it. It's like adoption, but for furniture, kinda, sorta. I'm taking it in, loving it, making it feel better, finding it a new home. Like rescuing kitty cats, which, you know, I've done a few of those, and of course a doggy too. Okay, there you go. It is done already. Now I'm gonna do the other side. Yes, I'm continuing to film this. Still using the same brush, haven't washed it out. I'm doing the other side. I'm in a little cubby hole. Believe it or not, my sliding glass door is right behind this camera, and so I'm going to spray it down a little bit. I already put slick stick on it. I repeat myself in case one of these clips gets cut or miss a spot, and that way the information is there. But I am going to just go, sorry, I'm going to be right in the way. I am dipping right into, of course I got to turn around, the sea glass jar. Sticking my brush in there and just getting a little bit gloopy goopy. And because I wet it down, it's just going to go on like that. Make sure you get those insets, because this has insets all the way around, which is like a frame. You don't want to paint the middle and not get the frame part. Sorry, my head is in the way. I don't know if you can see that part. No, it's too tall for you to see, but whatever. You'll get the basics. Can you see this part? Yay! I'm gonna come down, bring it down. I'm just gonna put a tiny bit more on the brush, spray it one more time. And why did I choose this color for the sides? If you were listening just a minute ago, it's because I have more of this color. And I love all three of these colors. But when you have more of one color than the other, use what you got. And that way, what does it say? Make haste, not waste. I don't know. I'll mix up my sayings, but basically, use what you got. I bought it for a reason. I love this color. Any color I get, I love. That's why I get it. And they have so many different color options. So, all right. I'm going to spray it just a little bit. I know that looks white on the camera, but it is sea glass. So, it's just we're right by the sliding glass door and the sun is filtering in. So, there you go. Done. Okay, now you see? So, sea glass, come around, and there's what we've been painting. I'm going to stand up and show you. Can you see that? Do you see? It's broken. See that right there? It's broken. So my butt would fall through the hole. So there's that turtle pillow that Jason was so nice to give me. And I'm just going to sit down on it. And then I can roll all across the floor. Like, I already had this to put furniture on for end tables and such. So it's really cool. My brother's a mechanic and he has one of those things to go on the car. That was too low for me. So this is what I'm going to use. Use what you have. You have stuff in your house you can use. I promise you. I have to talk a little bit loud because I had the fan on. What I'm doing is drying what I just painted below. I'm about to use this Voodoo Gel Stain by Dixie Belle in Tobacco Road. I am also using the Dixie Belle glue sponge to apply it. And I'm going to pour it not into a paper plate or a professional thing. I'm going to use, I have so many pickles from keto. This is that's the one Crunchy Pickle Vlasic big pickle jar, and you'll see this fits right in there. So I'm going to pour this into here, and then I'm going to take this and I'm going to stain the top of this while the bottom is drying, because I just got through painting on this video. So, whoops. Sorry, I said whoops because I know you can't see me right now, and I know that's frustrating and not professional. So either way, this sponge fits either way. I just got some Dixie Belle stain, and I am going to do this. I'm going to go straight across, I know you can't see me all the way, straight across, without lifting it up, using this sponge. There we go. Now it's starting to streak on this line. So what I'm going to do is come back, and I'm going to dip back into my pickle jar cap. I don't usually like to do darker wood style on tops, but I decided on this piece, go a little different. I may scrap it. I'm going to let you know that I'm adding more, just a little bit. See how much I'm using? Not much. I'm going to put a little bit more. For this whole top, here's the thing. You see the part's clean and the part, and yes, you probably want to use gloves, but the great part of this, and its whole point is, this is water-based gel stain. So guess what? It comes right off my hands. Trust me, I've done this many times. Every time I'm like, maybe I should have worn a glove. No. I get in the mood to paint. It has to be done in layers because it needs to dry between each thing. So I find that if I say, oh, I gotta put the glove on, and oh, I gotta do this, then I put it off and don't do it. If I just admit to myself, just do it, it gets done. Okay, now I'm going around the edge. I know you can't see this. Horrible choice to put the camera, but I didn't want to stop what I was doing. And you're going to see pictures, and you're just listening to me talk right now, which is boring, I know. Okay, I am just taking this sponge, going around the edges of the lip. of this French Provincial using the same sponge, not reapplied, meaning just what's left on it. Go around the edges. This has those curvy edges because it is a French Provincial and some insets. So I'm going to push harder on the sponge, on the insets, because it is a sponge and releases more when you push down. And I am almost done. The Voodoo Stain, people are like, oh, what is it? It's $19 and some odd change. But guess what? I think I've used that actual bottle. This is probably my 9th or 10th project. So yeah, it's worth every penny. No drips. I'm doing this in my studio in my house, which, if you know me, means my dining room. And I am done. So let me see if I can turn this around real quick. I know, I'm just going to use, let's see. Oh, I'll take it off. Oh, it might stop. Sorry again about this. Okay. Can you see this now? There. There's the top. That's just the first coat across of Voodoo Stain. And this is the edges I was talking about. It's hard to see because the light makes it sound like it's white, but it's not. I'm going so fast because I'm trying to get this all in this video. Okay, and so here I am. Here's my sponge. I only used one side. See, that side's dirty, that side's clean. A little bit of my hands. There is the plastic pickle jar cover. And I'm going to rinse that out in the sink too because it's water-based and that's what you can do. So, there we go. Next step done. Now they all can dry together. Okay, so I took Dixie Belle Coffee Bean and I just went over it with a mini brush with lots of water. As you can see, it's still sitting in the edges. And I used the brush to kind of make brush strokes that I wanted it to make. The fan is on, that's why it's drying. See, it's still wet. And I made some striations where it was darker in some places than others. And then I made this kind of effect in the sides. I know it looks like a hot mess because it's not dry yet. That's puddling, which I wanted to puddle. I wanted to puddle there too. So everything is drying and then we'll come back to it, and I'm thinking it either needs one more coat of coffee bean on top or it needs another coat of or layer of Voodoo Gel Stain in Tobacco Road, which has a little shimmer to it, or a little sheen, not shimmer, not like glitter. And then we'll go from there. Alright, so here it is, the top. It is drying. I have added another layer of Voodoo Gel in Tobacco Road, and it just gives it that little extra sheen on the edges, especially when you do it on top of the coffee bean. You catching that? See that little sheen there? It almost looks like almost copper, but it's not. It's just the sheen showing back up. I will be gator hiding the top and clear coating the whole thing with about 4 layers. Alright, I'm going to be mixing up gator hide specifically to do the top of that dresser. And I'm opening up a new gator hide by pulling off this protective foam lid. There, I'm going to throw that away. And then I am going to take this plastic spoon and I'm going to stir it up so the sediment, not sediment, but just to make sure the stuff in the bottom is mixed really well. Usually I just shake these, or I don't even have to do this, and I've used gator hide many times without doing this at all. But because I've decided to try mixing a little bit of the Voodoo gel stain that I've used in this project so far, I decided to go ahead and mix it up, because I've got to mix it up anyway. So I'm just going to spoon with the same spoon some of the gator hide into a plastic container that I will throw away. I think this came with like deli meats or something that we just washed and kept for whatever reason. And now I'm just spooning out. I'm probably going to be doing 3 to 4 coats on this particular dresser. So I'm just eyeballing it. Okay, I think that's going to be enough. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my Tobacco Road Dixie Belle gel stain, and I'm going to squirt some in there. Because they're both water-based, they play nicely together. So what am I doing? I am tinting the gator hide. Now, as you can see, I didn't have to use that much. I could have probably used a lot less, but I would rather have more than less right now, because I'm going to save this. I'm going to put the top on this and let it dry. So every time I do each layer, it'll dry in this container. And eventually I'll use it all for the top of this particular dresser. Okay, I can tell it's pretty mixed up because I don't see any residual. I'm going to tap that spoon. I am done with that spoon, so I'm going to toss it. And now I'm going to use this Dixie Belle Blue Sponge. It's already been dampened and I have rinsed it out. And then I'm going to go put the top on the other, go put the gator hide on top of the piece and seal it. Okay, now I'm moved over here and I can't see me. Ah! Just see the mess behind me. So I'm going to take what I just made and just dunk that in there. And you can see I've already done this, but what I didn't do yet was seal it. And I'm using gator hide instead of just a plain clear coat because people tend to put drinks on top of their dressers, even though their mom tells them not to. Or they're taught not to. And I'm just gonna go, I know you can't see, I'm going straight across. And because it's tinted with the same stain that I have already put on here, just makes a really neat effect. Because you've got clear coat, gator hide, with some Dixie Belle Tobacco Road mixed in. I'm going to go back across this week. I am going to turn a fan on once this gets put on so I can dry it quicker than just by itself. It's really humid today. It is 93 degrees today, which isn't bad, but the heat index is 107. It's not nice. Love my hometown, Tallahassee, but this August we have been setting records with heat index. Okay, now I'm just going to take what's left on the sponge and go around the edges. I know you probably can't see this, but you know what I mean? I'm a painter, not a filmer. I'm going to just go around the edges and use what's left on the sponge. And now, as easy as that, we have clear coated with gator hide and sealed and waterproofed. So I'm going to put the rest of this with the lid on top. I am going to either put it in the refrigerator or no, I'm not. I'm just going to leave it out with the top on, and then I will redo this every hour 4 more times. Alright, I am using Dixie Belle Clear Coat and Satin, and I am stirring this up just because this is one I haven't used in a while. This particular jar, I use this all the time, but this particular jar. So I'm going to stir it up with a spoon. a disposable spoon. And then I'm gonna take, you know, my favorite thing, the top of a pickle jar, and then the Dixie Belle glue sponge fits right into the pickle jar so I can sit it back down while it's wet. So I'm just gonna tip this over, get some on the thing, and then I'm going to start, clear coating the base of this. Now I did get the sponge a little bit damp and then rinsed it out, just water, so that it doesn't suck up the product as much as it first sucked up the water. And you're just gonna run this all over. Really easy to do. It's water-based, so don't have to worry about, I mean, you could put a glove on, but I didn't because I don't have to. And there are no smells, so I'm able to do it in my house. No headache. Like the polyacrylic I used the other day, I went ahead and just used what I had in hand because I didn't have the stuff. The Dixie Belle stuff was at the store and I forgot to get it home. Oh my god, a headache. I'd forgotten what it was like. And even though that stuff's fun to use and there's nothing wrong with it, it's water-based, the smell, headache for hours. It's just not worth it. Made me appreciate my Dixie Belle again. Okay, so that is the first coat on the first little bit there. See how long that took. I am still using this. I'm just dipping it in. Some people don't like to double dip when they're using clear coat. They're worried about some of the paint maybe contaminating the jar. I've never had that happen, so I'm not worried about it. Just rubbing this on, sponging it on. Quite literally, so easy. Even a kid could do it. Just want to get it on, go straight across. Make sure there's no drips. I usually don't see any drips with this. I see drips with polyacrylic water-based paints, but not with Dixie Belle. Hence why, again, I love the product, and yes, I sell it. And I used it before I sold it. I liked it so much, I was like, we have to have this in the store. Okay. Alrighty, now let's scoot down. I am on that wheeled little dolly thing, like if you saw earlier with the turtle pillow on it. Instead of a mechanic's creeper, I think it's called. Just implementing my own so I can just glide across the floor. There's Edie. Edie, you don't need to make a camo today. So again, I'm just gonna redump. Just hey there, Edie. Not everybody wants to see the kitty cat. You know, you think you're the star. I guess you are. This clear coat is satin, so it'll give just a little bit of a slight sheen, which is like the gator hide I did on top. It has a slight sheen similar. Sometimes I use flat and I have all the way up to gloss. So, alright, I'm going to do the exact same thing on the sides, and then I'm going to let it dry for an hour, and then I'm going to do this again probably 3 to 4 times. Here it is. I am clear coating the other side now, same thing with the, just dipping it in. And I'm gonna go ahead, you probably can't see this because the angle, maybe. I mean, it's not the greatest place for the camera, but I'm on small quarters as far as my space allotment. Wish you guys could smell the fajitas that are cooking. Fajito fajitas. Alright. So that wood is just soaking it in. That paint. All Dixie Belle. All water-based. All super easy to do. I still have lots more to go. This is the 8 ounce. But as much as I use it, I'm going to tell you, just go ahead and buy the 32 ounce. Alright, I'm going to go rinse this out in the sink with some warm water and a little bit of soap and dry it out, wring it out, and it'll be ready when I'm ready to do the next batch. I'm going to keep the spoon, just stir it up in just a little bit, and you know what, let me get some of it out of the spoon. There's some extra in the spoon. Instead of wasting that little bit, I'm just going to put some more on the bottom. Waste not, want not. So easy. This is going to be so pretty. I cannot wait to find it a new home. See where it goes to. I love it so much. I wish I could keep it. Don't say that about every piece I do. It's the colors. It's when it looks like a mermaid or a beach or something, or water. I love it. I am officially putting the handles back on, and while I'm working on this drawer, Petey decided he would get in there. Mikey, you want to make a camo? This is not my kitty, Mikey. That is Petey, my kitty, who likes to be in every picture. That moment when you finally get the handles on and you can appreciate what it looks like in all its glory, including its original handles, which to me is like jewelry. It's original jewelry. It only took 45 minutes to get them back on. That's typical. So it's been a little while. This piece got covered up because we had a, hello Mikey, not my kitty. We had 2 estate sales actually over the last month that we had to clear out, and this kind of got delayed. So I just want to show you final results. I did go back in there in the bottom and added some more color because when I looked at pictures I could see white spot here and here, and I just added a little bit more to it. This is the top. It's bad lighting in here right now, and it is kind of dusty because we just took the drop cloth off. But there you have it. Got the handles on. It will be going to the store soon. It's cute.